I mean, they were following like the Overwatch model essentially, but with their they were like, we have this ship combat, sort of like For Honor. I think they were like, we're gonna take what we did with For Honor and take
Oh,
our
that sounds like it'd be way better.
yeah, take our compelling ship combat that people love. By the way, that's what I don't understand. Is like, Garrett here is like, Kirk Skull and Bones is trash. Everybody says that, but nobody can establish for me why. Because like people really have enjoyed the ship combat. Like I would say that people feel like Ubisoft has done like pirate ship battles or naval battles better than any other video game company or any video game has, which is why they went and made this game. And like I still think they're the best at it. So I
Let
think
me.
it's just like
Could it
they're
be?
suffering from the fact that they have other games that are single player
Mhm.
and then people would rather play. Like that's the only thing I can think of. Like if those games didn't exist, I feel like people would think this game was awesome.
Let me
But
ask. Could it be the fact that? And I don't know much about the game. But could it be this where the combat? Because Sea of Thieves combat actually sucks. It almost feels like you're
yeah,
fighting the game.
yeah,
Okay,
it does.
but that almost feels more rewarding in a weird, janky
Like,
way. No, I mean that you could call that like the greatest cope ever, but because I hate it. But like when you get that sniper shot from the crow's nest and you're like, I
yeah.
did not deserve that, but yes. Um, but could it be that Skull and Bones is one of those games that it's an ocean-sized puddle where it's like
Um,
that's it, and
no.
once you do that, that's the gimmick.
No, because again,
Okay.
I've spent like 80, 85 hours in it, and there's a vast uh array of content that you can engage with. I mean, I've fought sea monsters that have two shot me before because like I was in the wrong I was in the wrong part of the sea, Brian. I've fought ghost ships. I've got this awesome flamethrower that I talked about on a previous show. There's battle pass content. There's loot that you can redeem with like certain currency. Getting that currency, maybe not like I have that interesting tension filled story about the PvP, but like there's other aspects to that that are a little more grindy, a little more tedious. So like I can understand that. It has like a Death Strandingness to it of like go here
Ooh.
and deliver this thing. Like I know that some people are like really not gonna go for that, but like Sea of Thieves also kind of has that.
Yeah. No,
But
Mr. Reaper. You turn everything into Mr. Reaper.
yeah. So I don't know. I think it's again. I think it's this thing of like we got so spoiled with games last year, and
Yeah.
games cost so much, and people bought a lot of games last year, and they felt that because times are tough now, and there's games coming out this year that are good, and people don't have time, they don't have money, and it's like why the heck would I drop 70 or even $45 on Sea of Thieves or not Sea of Thieves. People will buy Sea of Thieves apparently
Yeah.
on Skull and
I,
Bones or Suicide Squad for that matter. Like when I can go out and play Dragon's Dogma 2 or Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, like they're just not going to do it. And even with an 8-hour trial, if the value proposition there is play the trial to determine if you should give us your $70, and somebody like Brian plays it for 30 minutes and they're like, I'm bored out of my mind, even if they're not going to be bored at hour 4 and that's still free, it gives Brian the opportunity to be like, okay, so I don't have to spend more time and money on this. That's good. Thank God. Like
Yeah.
there's like a relief to
right.
that of like, and so I think people are looking for that out, and these games like Suicide Squad and like Skull and Bones. I mean, Suicide Squad's just bad. I'm not even gonna I can't even
Right.
defend that game. But these games and Foam Stars for that matter,
Well, I think
these games
one
are
of the
just giving
things.
people like an out real fast, where there's
Well,
like,
not even just an
I
out.
don't need to be here.
I actually have a theory.
Okay.
So it's not just the out. Because when you're looking at like Suicide Squad, okay, well, you got Suicide Squad versus Destiny, and it's not going to be Destiny,
Right.
but Destiny can leverage its community. Like when you pick up Destiny and you pay that $210 to get everything, you're at least going to be able to play all the content, right? And that's even something I've noticed like is a little harder or was harder with Final Fantasy before it came to Xbox, and you have all the people running through A Realm Reborn and stuff like that, the backlog content. You have these games that can leverage their communities like Sea of Thieves. Maybe that is why they can justify 40 to 60 bucks on PlayStation, because you already have that built-in community of people that are playing it, as opposed to Skull and Bones, which it's grassroots. It's Ubisoft, but like people are already going to hear Ubisoft and be like,
Hey,
uh,
Prince of Persia, baby. Prince of Persia: Lost Crown.
Mm,
Not a bad game in the year of bad games.
right.
That one definitely delivered. But yeah, I don't know.
I think
Whatever.
it's the community, the
I've been
leveraging.
accused of being a Ubisoft shill, and I don't even really
There's nothing
deflect
wrong with
that.
defending it though. Like I really appreciate that you really resonate with Skull and Bones, and I think
Yeah.
that's because I go out and defend. You know, for the longest time defended Final Fantasy 14, and then for the longest time have been defending New World. It's like there is something here that I enjoy, and I'm not gonna like bow down to the like the popular opinion here. And that's just, you know, kind of my nature.
Yeah.
And I love that you're like, no, man, like there are some really things that I enjoy out of this game. And